When did you see karma work in real time? When I was in high school, there was this guy named Brad. He was the kind of person who thought popularity gave him immunity. Charming when teachers were around, cruel when they weren't. Everyone knew someone like him. The untouchable kid, born with perfect hair and zero consequences. And for a long time, he got away with everything. Brad's favorite target was this quiet kid named Eli. Eli was one of those kids who blended into the background. Shy, awkward, always sketching in his notebook. He wore hand-me-down clothes and walked with his head down, like he was constantly apologizing for existing. I used to sit near Eli in art class. He was actually good. Like, really good. His sketches looked like something out of a comic book. Bold lines full of emotion, but Brad saw none of that. All he saw was an easy victim. One day, Brad decided to pull one of his legendary pranks. He took Eli's sketchbook, the one he guarded like his life depended on it, and scanned the drawings. Then he printed them out, scribbled stupid captions over them, and posted them around school with the label, "The Diary of a Loser." I'll never forget the look on Eli's face when he saw them. He didn't cry. He didn't yell. He just went pale, tore them down quietly, and walked out of class. Even the teacher didn't say much. "Boys will be boys," she said. Brad grinned. He got high fives in the hallway that day, and for a while it seemed like karma was asleep. A few weeks later, our school announced a regional art contest. Big scholarship prizes, local media coverage, the whole deal. Brad, suddenly inspired, decided he was going to enter. Everyone laughed because Brad could barely draw a stick figure. But then somehow he submitted something incredible. It looked like one of Eli's old sketches, but refined, colored, and digital. He claimed he'd been working on it for months. He won. He got the local spotlight, his picture in the paper, a scholarship nomination. Even the principal called him a creative inspiration. And Eli, he didn't show up to school the next day, or the next. He transferred out 2 weeks later. Everyone moved on. Everyone except me. Because I'd seen Brad using the art lab computer one afternoon. I'd seen the file he was editing. It had Eli's name in the corner. Fast forward a few months, it's senior year, graduation season. Brad's ego had hit orbit bragging about art school, acting like a local celebrity. But karma was patient, and it was watching. 2 weeks before graduation, the Regional Art Foundation hosted an exhibit featuring all the winning pieces. A local journalist decided to do a human interest piece about young artists and their creative processes. She interviewed Brad, and he, being Brad, couldn't resist showing off. He talked about his work ethic, his passion, and then for flair, opened his art portfolio on a school computer to show some behind-the-scenes drafts. Only, he forgot to remove the old files, the ones that still had Eli's signature on them. The journalist saw it. She wasn't stupid. She took screenshots. A week later, the article dropped. It wasn't about young artists. It was titled "Plagiarism Scandal Rocks Local Art Program." Brad's name was in bold. His winning artwork was identified as stolen, and Eli's original sketches were shown side by side, time-stamped, dated, and authenticated. The fallout was instant. The scholarship gone. His college offer revoked. The school furious. Brad tried to spin it, claimed Eli had given him permission, then that he didn't realize it was plagiarism, then finally that everyone was out to get him. No one bought it. He went from being the golden boy to being a joke overnight, but that's not even the best part. 3 months later, during summer break, the Art Foundation released a follow-up statement. They had tracked down Eli, the real artist, and offered him the scholarship Brad had lost. He accepted, quietly, humbly, like he always did. I remember seeing a photo online. Eli standing next to his framed artwork, smiling nervously for the camera. He looked older, calmer. For the first time, he looked seen. Years later, I ran into Brad at a grocery store. He was bagging groceries, wearing a faded hoodie. We made eye contact, and for a second, I thought about walking past, but he beat me to it. He just sighed and said, "Man, karma's real." I didn't reply, just nodded and walked away. Because yeah, karma doesn't always come fast. Sometimes it waits, sometimes it watches. And sometimes when it finally hits, it doesn't make noise. It just balances the scales.